Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today as usual. We're going to talk about XRP today, so I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever they are in the world. This is the one-day chart once more. Right now, the price is $2.27. XRP is currently up 2.96% for the day. Additionally, it's good to see XRP up on a Sunday. Take a look at Bitcoin, which has risen above 109,000. But today it's actually just up 1.1%. XRP is steadily surpassing Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bale adds that XRP is booming. But keep in mind that a Sunday pump always leads to a dump later. Be ready. I wouldn't describe this as a pump, though. This is what I believe is happening. For some time now, we've been settling in between $2.20 and $2.30. The upper end of the channel is where we are. I'm going to start getting thrilled once we begin to break above $2.30 and $2.40. After that, I believe we'll be entering the alt season. Hopefully, Bitcoin will keep rising from here. This is the price and time frame that will make XRP even more despised by detractors. Alex Cobb is the source of this. He claims that by providing a hyper-bullish price objective for the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, consumers are dismissing XRP. The well-known community leader conjectured that when XRP's price spikes to $15 by December 2025 later this year, users' animosity toward it will only grow. Many people tell me that by the end of this year we will be far over $20. The real major shift is coming, in my opinion. This blow-off top will occur in January 2026. However, there will be activity around the region as significant things are set up for XRP and crypto, from Solo Sway Media Clary. Surveillance against the CBDC bill block. FHFA is considering crypto for mortgages. In the meantime, the $50 million deal in the Ripple case is pending final approval, which should happen by September. I believe that this will be resolved before the XRP ETFs are ready to debut on September 17th. Liftoff is equal to access plus clarity. How are you unable to remain optimistic? The restrictions are currently scheduled to go into effect, and it's going to revolutionize the game in this field once those rules are established, because it will distinguish the true worth from this crap. This is supposition and hype, to put it another way. This has actual value and a real use case. For this reason, I expect rules for XRP, XLM, and other cryptocurrency will be fairly extensive. The 5% issue with Bitcoin, the reasons why the majority of people still do not possess cryptocurrency, and the implications for its future. The issue is that they developed a narrative around Bitcoin, and while it endured for a while, it is now beginning to fade, because people simply will not embrace something costly and slow. It will never take place. Bitcoin will thus turn into a tokenized asset that operates on the ledger, XRP, and other networks. The purists who cashed electronically refer to the initial white paper by Satoshi, which was titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Bitcoin is specifically made to operate as a peer-to-peer electronic currency, as one commenter stated. The title exactly says that. Its failure as a peer-to-peer cash system is the issue. Additionally, it is far too costly and slow to be used for payments. Digital gold. The issue with the digital gold narrative is that tokenized gold is now available on all of these networks. Additionally, the digital gold narrative for Bitcoin will end whenever you're transporting gold and its value around the world in a matter of seconds for less than a penny. However, the largest issue with Bitcoin goes far further than that. It's more than just the story. The reason for this is that Bitcoin maxes continue to think that Bitcoin will eventually supplant the US currency. Furthermore, they are unaware that an asset-backed digital currency is already replacing the US dollar. The digital dollar will be backed by gold and possibly other valuable assets. However, Bitcoin will cease to exist once an asset-backed money is established. I even believe it will be the Fed's demise. However, our currency will be backed by gold. It was already obvious to you the central banks are currently hoarding gold as a result. The CTO of Ripple discloses the number of Bitcoins he has mined. I would like to draw attention to a different aspect of this. We already know that Bitcoin was mined by David Schwartz. In 2011, he mined about 250 Bitcoin. However, they questioned him about his Satoshi identity. Possessed nearly all of the abilities required to have been Satoshi, he adds. I could very well have been a member of a group. However, it isn't the case. It wasn't until 2011 that I learned about Bitcoin. This brings us to David Schwartz's issue. He's bound by an NDA. Additionally, he claims that I was a member of a group from the NSA. They now frequently discuss their love for Satoshis. David was probably one of them. However, he also frequently attacked Bitcoin, highlighting its high energy usage and scalability problems brought on by its proof-of-work consensus method. I believe David's harsh criticism of Bitcoin stems from his early recognition of its shortcomings. They made XRP specifically for that purpose. Satoshi is also right there. David Schwartz atop a blown-up dragon. People were immediately attempting to solve this puzzle, but I believe it was David being David. However, the notion that he is Satoshi as well, given everything David has produced over the years, who else could it be? Some claim it's Arthur Britto. I believe there were 4 Satoshis all along because of this. His XRP entrance price, as disclosed by Ripple CTL, was 0.006. He was not given any free XRP. He chose not to do that, and for that reason, he ultimately purchased XRP in the same manner that we did. However, no one anticipated that XRP would reach $3.84 even at that time. Back then, they likely believed that if it hit 50 cents, it would be a huge success. But then everyone was stunned by XRP. It is identical to the present. People are purchasing today, wondering if it will reach $10. Will the price reach $15?